Very good morning to you, Lagos, and thank you very much for staying with us. You're listening to the smoothest dial on radio. It's Smooth 98.1. This morning, inside of the locker room, we're going to be sharing sports stories, really interesting stories, some disappointing and heartbreaking, but we'll be fine. This morning, as always, we are joined by Tega. Hi, Tega. Good morning.
Hi.
Hello. Good morning. I like when you greet me like that.
Good morning, Tega.
Good morning, Tega.
Okay.
Good morning. Good morning, Lagos.
All right, so Lagos, you can send us messages through WhatsApp.
That is 0809 4440981.
And also on Twitter.
And don't forget, you can reach out to us using the hashtag LockerRoom981. That's 2 hours in locker room, okay? So reach out to us on Smooth981.
I thought I heard 2 hours.
No, 2 hours in locker room.
Locker room,
2
nice.
hours. That'll be interesting.
All right, let's start with this interesting story about Middlesbrough. Now, Super Eagles captain and former Chelsea midfielder John Mikel Obi has agreed personal terms with Middlesbrough and is undergoing a medical on Thursday. Now, Mikel, who has been playing for Chinese side Tianjin Teda, is keen to end his 2-year spell in China to return to the UK, where his wife and children have stayed after his move abroad. Oh, so nice.
Yeah, they are not paying him. He's just moving back for free.
It's okay.
He's moving back for charity. But it's interesting. That teams have seen him and said, "Oh, he's not over the hill yet. He can help us." And that's the good news. You think that when a player goes to China, that's the end. It's not true. Same thing happened to Paulinho. It wasn't just anybody that came for him. It was Barcelona. Now you're looking at Carrasco also. Arsenal looked at them. It's just that, of course, Arsenal, they don't have money as usual. So those players going to China, just they think, okay, maybe 1 or 2 years, I'll just gather all the money and I'll come back and work for my career. So I think it's great news for the Super Eagles, especially as the AFCON is coming up. If he goes to Middlesbrough, he's fit, I can play a few games. That competition will keep him sharp and ready to help in some way the Super Eagles. But for his family, I think they'll be happy to have him back.
Of course.
Yeah.
Good news all around.
Of course.
And then he'll be getting some good money.
Daddy's
Good
coming
money.
home.
Congratulations, Mikel Obi, John Obi Mikel. All right, now this story we touched on during the news, but I think it's really important, of course, that we get your take on this, Tega. 3 Soje brothers jailed for taking charity money. Now, a sporting family siphoned off cash from their own charity set up to help African children. It can be reported. Ex-footballers Efe Soje, 46 years old, and Stephen Soje, 43, and ex-rugby player Bright Soje, 52, were found guilty and jailed for the fraud in 2017. The fraud trial in 2017 had heard how the family set up the Soje Sports Foundation in 2009, ostensibly to help provide facilities in Nigeria. However, cash raised at black tie dinners, auctions, charity football matches, and a clay pigeon shoot went into Soje bank accounts, prosecutor Julian Christopher QC said. Stephen Soje of Bexley was sentenced to 2 years and 6 months in prison for receiving £30,000 in charity funds. Efe of Cheadle in Greater Manchester, who was the face of the charity, was given 18 months in jail for receiving £7,500 from the SSF and an unknown amount from a clay pigeon shooting event. Bright of Sale in Greater Manchester was jailed for 21 months for receiving £3,000 from the charity and signing checks to other family members, totaling £18,000.
Wow. Yes, yeah, the signing checks to other family members is the interesting one, you know, because they're African, they have to send money home. Here's what's really sad about this case. Yes, if it was the most popular of the brothers, so I guess it was only ideal that his face was the face of the charity. Here's what's interesting. Every single one of them played a sport. Every single one of them went professional. Every single one of them made money. Every single one of them needed money after their career was over.
Wow.
So very poor, first of all, financial management. And because of who they were, when they said, oh, we want to help some people back home, and you know, they will tell some really good stories, and it's not going to be hard to find pictures of children that are suffering, and put out all of that out there, and people will donate. They are not the only people to do it. They're just the people that are caught.
But just playing devil's advocate, what if, right, that they raised the money and gave initially, then after a while it became too tempting to have such huge amounts of money and then decided to pocket some? Do you think?
I will say this: if the money went from the donations into the Soji account, they did not give anything.
You know what I think? Yes, and I
That's
support you
it.
because it seems as if they were waiting the whole time for
Yeah,
an opportunity to
I
touch
think-
one
I'm
time on that.
trying to.
I also think again that most people set up this charity, and the question is, so what's your gain? What are you going to gain from this charity? In as much as we claim we're helping people, how are you going to get money from this? So I think from the start the intention was wrong, and everything else just followed through. So I'm glad they were caught. I'm glad they were sent to jail. I hope more people are caught. There are many prominent people, trust me, in Nigeria. I think I was trying to register an NGO, and you just look at someone and say, oh, there are 10 NGOs dealing with this problem. I'm like, where?
Where are they coming
Which
from?
Nigeria?
Yeah.
I mean, this Nigeria, nobody's dealing with it. So you see people, and then you see the names of some of
So
the,
true.
you're just like,
Wow, such a shame.
it's such a shame. So they've been caught. They should serve their time because they deserve to. And then let's see how their lives will go on after this. But it's a really poor downfall. All brothers, one family, all in jail.
Wow.
All right, let's talk about something else that's just as startling. Serena Williams, in a startling reversal and result, Williams wasted 4 match points along the way to drop in the last 6 games of a 6-4, 4-6, 7-5 loss to number 7 seed Karolina Pliskova of the Czech Republic at Melbourne Park on Wednesday. A quote here says, "I was almost in the locker room," said Pliskova, who trailed 5-1 in the third set, but now I'm standing here as the winner. Tega, what happened?
It wasn't. Am I Serena? You know, sometimes people ask.
I still remember your reaction when you saw the news this morning.
Some
Tega.
people be ask-
No, but it's shocking.
some
really.
people be asking me, "Jab, I don't. Was I there?" Only two people know that Lord and Serena. But what is so? You're watching this game. Serena, of course, she started off slowly. Lost her serves in the first. Lost a service game in the first set. Pliskova took that. As usual, you expect Serena to bounce back. She has more intensity, more urgency. Her shots are bigger. What Pliskova has is very good swings and very good angles, which is what helped her in the first set. So obviously, when Serena came back in the second set again, that was 6-4. It looked like everything was going to plan. And then the fifth set, she was leading 5-1. At that point I was like, okay, let me get to the office. We already know that Serena is going to play Naomi Osaka. It's going to be a great one, revenge of the Masters. I started writing headlines, then I come here and Serena lost 7-5.
Wow.
So apparently, watching the highlights, she rolled her ankle when she was. So she was 40-30 up. She was literally on match point. What she needed was one big ace, and then she was called for a foot fault. She did not get upset. She just stood again and decided to serve, and that's when she rolled her ankle.
Yeah.
So she rolled. No, PTA, that's not enough.
Sorry.
So she rolls the ankle, stretches it a little bit. I think it's something she felt she could walk off. She ended up losing that service game. 5-2, still a heavy lead. But Serena just never got back in. And it comes down to what I question about her mental health. Because when she came back last year, physically she was okay to take on anybody. It's just that killing off the finals. When she gets into the finals, killing off the games. And that alone, you cannot tell me, is mental. There is a block, or there is a pressure that she's feeling like, oh, I'm almost there. My comeback is almost there. And maybe she's anxious and she's eager, and it gets into her, because there is no excuse. She had to win one game. Pliskova had to win 6. Pliskova won 6. I know Karolina Pliskova. She is not that mentally powerful. I know her. I've known her for years. So in as much as she did roll the ankle, like Serena said, when she during the post-match press conference, that her ankle is fine now. So she could. It was something she could walk off. So I don't think it was the ankle. I think when that happened, then she started questioning herself. How am I going to do this? She's noticed I'm wounded. There were questions. There were counter questions. There were extra thoughts in her head, and that's how she lost the match. It had nothing. I tell people, maybe that on that particular match point, the ankle was a bother. But after that, even when they went 5-3, she also had match points, and she still didn't close out the match. So this is something that herself and Muratoglu have to sit down and sort out it's mental, it's not physical.
All right, so I have a message from Chinwe Nancy on WhatsApp. She says, so sad my big sis Serena is out of the Australian Open, but she gave a good fight despite the ankle injury. I stayed awake to watch her. The last set was so painful after leading 5-1, and of course my Nadal is still cruising high. He wins. I wish he wins this Australian Open. Here's a message here from Victor. Okay, no, not Victor. Sorry. Now Lukman says, good morning, guys. Concerning the Soldier Brothers issue, do not think they have good intentions about charity. That FA guy, he got a strong eye. They need money to stay in their lives. And then somebody here said something that I feel we should take. Okay, I'll come back to the messages right after the break. Lagos, if you're just joining us, this is the Locker Room here on Smooth 98.1. Somebody said,
I didn't take Nadal's okay. Yeah.
somebody said something about the Soldier Brothers.
No, I think the person is contest because major newspaper to carry the story,
Yes.
even internet. So
Saying
he's
it
probably
collapsed
just
in reports. Maybe he's
saying,
just saying
I think he
partially.
even deleted it.
oh, okay.
Yeah, because he said something like, oh, they were on radio this morning. They said they're not in jail.
No, of course they'll say they're not in jail. What would they say before? It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's on
Wait,
all
maybe
the-
they said.
They are going to go to jail.
They sentenced them.
Well,
They're going to.
yeah,
Maybe they're not
yeah,
yet
they're not
in
yet
jail.
there.
They're,
but
not doing that. They are going to go to jail.
Maybe they
It's-
can appeal the judgment. That's what they mean that, oh, they're not
They are
they've been
exactly.
sentenced.
They are going to go to jail. That one is
We didn't say that they're
categorical.
in jail. We said they've been
Good, yeah.
sentenced. They can appeal the ruling, but for him to say that, oh, they said no,
Yeah.
they were found guilty.
Yeah.
If the ruling becomes overturned, that's a different
Yes.
situation. At the
Yes.
moment, they were even found guilty in 2017 and were just sentenced now.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's true. That's an
saying
old
that,
case that they
yeah.
are visiting in court. But let's go back.
We should have known better.
Do you know how many people are doing this thing like
On your regular.
on a regular?
Studio.
I love music. I'm passionate about family, about love, and I'm passionate about music.
I love good music. I like jazz. I like Afropop.
It feels good to be part of this
10
family.
seconds.
And I like smooth. What do you
Mics
like?
are up. Studio live.
90.
It's your Love Music, Love Life radio station. You're listening to the Locker Room here on Smooth 98.1. Please send in your messages through WhatsApp to 0809-444-0981.
All right, we're going to go straight to our comments before we continue with the stories this morning. If you'd like to join us on Twitter, you can please send in your comments.
We're at Smooth 91 FM with the hashtag LockerRoom981.
All right, first comment here from Victor Osai on WhatsApp. He says, now Tega, this is for you, so please pay attention, close attention. The Soldier brothers just disgraced Tega's Warrior and Delta State. See the peanut they accused of stealing. They carried worse than the last on this one.
Oh boy. Okay.
No defense. Just let me just walk on by.
And then we have this one from, okay, we've taken this one from Luke Antire from Yaba said, Soji family, after making name and earning from sports, are still engaged in such a dubious activity. It's a pity. Greed actually does not respect people's achievements or status. May our character never be tested as suggested by a host. Serena to bounce back. Did we notice the green and white jersey the girl wore before the match? Guess she was channeling her inner Nigerian.
There was black stripes on it too, so it's not Nigerian.
That's our Ghanaian channel. That's
Yeah.
our Ghanaian part.
And then speaking of tennis, I forgot to mention my next favorite match, Nadal and Tsitsipas.
Yes.
They are up next. So after Tsitsipas took out Roger Federer, he took out Batista Agut. So he's having like the best tournament of his life. But the reward is to face a Nadal. Unfortunately for him, Nadal is an equally good baseline player. Yes, he can move around the court, he's athletic and all, but he has that thing. But unlike Roger Federer, that just doesn't like to be playing target practice on that baseline, Nadal can sleep there for days. Nadal is very good with long rallies. He has a stamina. He's resilient and he's tenacious. So those are the three. With Roger Federer, yes, he can be a little bit aggressive, but most of his excellence comes from his ingenuity, his savant, his genius. But with Nadal, it's not just the brain work; he puts in the physical work. So if Tsitsipas thinks he's going to outwork him, I don't think it's going to be possible. So I think this is the end of the road, but I don't think Tsitsipas is going to go out easily because you have a momentum that you're riding on, and so even if on paper the odds favor Nadal, it's still going to be a tough fight for
When
Nadal.
is this match? So I don't miss it.
Tomorrow.
Okay, what time?
Don't sleep, eh? Australia time AM. I think it's well. Okay, I think they're playing at 9. I will confirm.
Okay.
So if they're playing at 9, then it's 10 AM. But if you're playing in the early hours of the morning, you have to be awake.
You know how to catch the excitement. Follow Tega on Twitter at Tega Supreme. You get the latest hits. And of course, the next story here, Kevin Prince Boateng said that he wanted to run to Barcelona when he found out that the La Liga leaders were genuinely interested in signing him in this month. He says, and I quote, "I'm really, really happy." He said this at the presentation yesterday. He said, "These last 2 days have been 2 of the most incredible days of my life." Well,
Yes.
nice.
Even I mean, the world is shocked. He has like I said yesterday, he has a praying grandmother because there's no other way. I don't know how this thing happened. 1 minute they're selling Munir how old is Munir again? I think 25, young guy,
Very young.
and then they and looking for a role for Malcolm to play. The next minute they're buying Kevin Prince Boateng. There's everything wrong about Barcelona picking him up. Yes, this guy has talent, but this guy has work ethic and character that is questionable, which is why, as talented as he was, he didn't make the German team. His brother did, which is why he struggled with the teams he has. He has an abundance of talent. He just, off the pitch, there's just a lot and too much going on. And that's not those are not the kind of players usually Barcelona will target. Those kind of players don't even last long in Barcelona. Those people that have a very colorful off-field character.
Yeah.
So for them to go for this guy, I don't know what manner of desperation, and they have the money to go for any other striker if it's striker they're looking for. But to go for Kevin Prince Boateng, I don't know what happened. I think there was a white ball, there was water, and there was some shaking, and then Bartomeu fell. And I can't understand it. It's not explainable. It's not explanatory logically for anybody. He's old. He's injury prone. It's just.
It's a miracle.
It's
It's a miracle that we are.
It beats your imagination.
it beats any imagination. But he's there now. Suddenly, this is the guy that was saying Cristiano Ronaldo is the best. This is the guy that came out to say he prefers Real Madrid because Barcelona players died, and now he's.
Okay,
I don't know what Bartomeu is doing. I can't wait for the
Simmer
next
down.
election. I can't wait for the next election.
Simmer down, Tega, because Chiwenansi seems to feel anxiety towards this. Chiwenansi says, "I do not know the kind of jazz Boateng used on Barca to sign him. This move is just unbelievable. Kevin, of all players." Let's move on.
All right, moving on. Congratulations to him, by the way. And this is kind of prayer that they pray for you when you hear this. May you have this.
And then Nigerians will show the
Uh-huh.
chorus. I tap
Yeah.
into this.
This is you reap where you did not sow kind of prayer because he didn't sow for this.
It's called unmerited favor.
Unmerited favor. All
I
right.
will take it.
Lagos, we wish you unmerited favor.
Amen.
Right, moving away from that story, Ali out until March. Tottenham midfielder Dele Ali has been ruled out until early March after suffering a hamstring injury. The 22-year-old suffered the injury during the Spurs' 2-win win over Fulham in the Premier League on Sunday. Tottenham tweeted a statement saying, and I quote, "Following scans and clinical assessment, we can confirm that @Dele_official has suffered a hamstring strain sustained during Sunday's match. Dele will now undergo a period of rehabilitation with our medical staff with the expectation of returning to training in early March."
This is not good news for Tottenham. 1 minute, for me, they've never been in contention for the EPL. They are going to trip one day, but they were flying high. And all of a sudden they're picking up injuries. I mean, one after the other. So Harry Kane is out. And then they play a game against Fulham without Harry Kane, and it was a struggle to win. They won that game in the last minute, and practically by Fulham handing them that goal in that last minute when Harry Kane scored the header. But after struggling with that, then Dele Ali is out, and there's no Son because he's gone to the Asian Cup. So tomorrow, a depleted and low on morale Tottenham side is going to face the Chelsea side. The good news for them is that Chelsea is also going through their own demons. So it's a toss-up. And that one goal advantage that they had from the first leg may help them to get to the finals in the Carabao Cup. At this point in time, it looks like they still have a praying chance to make it through. Again, because Chelsea has all the problems that they have. But you're looking at them going further down, and these are crucial weeks, and they're games coming after games, and they're points to defend, points to win, and your key players are out. So it's not the most exciting times, I must suspect, for Mauricio Pochettino. But if he can bring a good lineup tomorrow to Stamford Bridge that can at least stop them from conceding a lot of goals and maybe get one lucky goal. Maybe one person makes a mistake. Maybe Jorginho just forgets to run back and then they score a goal. Then he'll be through to the finals. But he'll be through to the finals to face a Manchester City side. Then you ask, what was the point? If we are going to lose in the finals, why did we make it?
All right, so let's talk about this other story coming in here. This one here says the police have confirmed the search and rescue operation for the playing Cardiff City striker Emiliano Sala. It has been suspended until sunrise on Wednesday. Now, French Civil Aviation Authority confirmed that Sala was on board an aircraft which disappeared from radar near the Channel Islands on Monday, and the search and rescue operation was launched that night and carried on until 2 a.m. on Tuesday before being called off and then resuming 8 a.m. The search was suspended again on Tuesday, shortly after 5 p.m. With plans for it to resume sunrise on Wednesday.
Oh, there's not much to say. This is so far tributes have already started pouring in.
It's very sad.
It's sad. The minute the plane disappeared, I was like, where can it go? It's literally France and England.
And the fact that they called off the search.
Yeah, just right there. I mean, they've been searching from Monday. So if they hadn't seen anything before dusk, and they're saying they've seen some parts of the plane, but they're not sure it's parts of the plane that they are looking for. There's nothing much to say. We just pray that they find something. That's what it is.
Just seeing his father so outspoken in front of correspondents. But anyway, let's take a few messages here. We have this one from from Daily. Okay, so boy, please add your names to your messages so we can read them. Yes, Chimobi Victor, thank you very much. He says, Prince Boateng moving to Barcelona still surprises me. His village people know they're working very well. It's the wrong signing. And then he adds, Dele Alli's injury just shows that they won't finish in the top 4, and I'll blame Pochettino for not strengthening his team in the summer. But he has the opportunity to amend his transfer window.
It's not his fault that there's no money.
So we have this next one from Oluwaleke Akinde.
From Akimbe says, I hail the Ghanaian priest Babalawo that mixed the charm. It's not fair now for KPV to move to Barcelona. He should share his salary with him. So obviously people are really now. There's one man who's actually prayed for the god of yes, this is him. George from Aja says, good morning guys. The God that did it for Kevin Prince Boateng will do it for us all. Barcelona at this stage of his career. Wake me up. Good job guys. Thank you very much.
Let's take this next story before we continue the messages. Remember, they come to the WhatsApp number that is 0809 444 0981. Ronaldo. He's been fined 18.8 million euros over tax evasion. Interesting. Now, football superstar Cristiano Ronaldo has cut a deal with a court in Madrid over tax evasion charges, accepting an 18.8 million euros fine. Let that sink in. Now, the deal, agreed in advance, includes a 23-month jail sentence. The non-violent nature of Ronaldo's offense means he's unlikely to spend any time in jail at all, serving it on probation instead.
Yeah, he's guaranteed to not spend any time in jail.
Of
It's
course.
not unlikely, guaranteed.
Do you know who he is?
that was a given. He's not spending any time in jail. But what was interesting about Cristiano Ronaldo was the way he came to court. So the way he dressed. You think they were going to a wedding?
Sharp guy.
Himself and his girlfriend. I cannot believe the way they showed up. All smiles, like they knew we're just going to pay this money and go. And then he was even signing autographs. For good measure. Like, this is nothing. But again, when it comes to Spain and tax evasion, I question them. There was a time that you say, okay, maybe the players are being a bit tricky. But if players go to Spain and they've played elsewhere, and they don't have problems with taxes, but they come to Spain and they have problems with taxes. We have to start questioning Spain.
Remember when Messi was caught in
Yeah, no, but they didn't give Messi a benefit of that. But this is now,
Spain?
it's now an issue. Everybody has this trouble, from Mourinho to Alves to Mascherano to Alonso. Even Alonso, that is Spanish, has been caught in
That's
Spain.
fine,
But yeah, all these footballers. I mean, the prominent ones like Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, their names are the ones making the rounds. But trust me, every name you can think of, big names, they're all there with tax problems in Spain. So maybe there's something about the law they do not understand. That is, I mean, of course, it will be different it will vary from country to country.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, when people say tax evasion in Spain,
But
as
also,
long as it's Spain, I'm not really worried.
you also expect the accountants to have a very good job at tracking down those songs.
The thing about these rights is tricky when it comes, especially when it comes to image rights. Like, so if I'm working in Spain, but I have a video shoot when I go to my village in Portugal, Spain wants to collect that money because in their minds
You
it was you were in Spain, you are working in Spain, even if you got this job in Portugal. So they say yeah, there are too many things.
Because let's take a break. We'll be back, talk maybe hopefully not some more tax evasion stories, but we'll be sharing very exciting stories and reading your messages here on the locker room. It's in Smooth 98.1.
Love life.
We are smooth.
We are smooth.
We are
Yeah,
smooth.
Ronaldo was a bit more tricky because he actually had shell companies.
Yes, he does.
He had shell companies that were helping him to do this thing. So his own was even, it looked more deliberate. But it's Cristiano Ronaldo.
There's a time that indicates Ronaldo that is just normal chilling. He's just
If you know the way they dress up, if I'm the judge, when I see you dressing like that, they are going to jail.
Yeah.
You will no, pay with your, you
It's
will
like,
go to jail.
squeeze that shirt.
You will leak jail for 1 month. One month.
shit small.
I don't be like, so you can't stop 7 under 2 years.
Yeah.
So if it's under 2 years, you don't go to jail. I'll just give you a little over 2 years. So just so that you leak jail small. How can you dress like that and come to court?
Not rumors. WhatsApp. If you wonder if the news you have received on WhatsApp is fake, look out for signs of manipulation. Videos and pictures can be edited to hide the truth. If you find something suspicious,
Because who is going
warn
to
those
be
who
this
sent
world?
it to you. Share joy, not
It's going to be
rumors.
over.
WhatsApp.
My name is Joe.
Otamendi unhappy over game time.
Yeah, just read the first few lines of that story and take it from there. Because we don't have time.
That is the sound of your money dozing away, doing nothing, absolutely nothing. Now, this is what happens when you
Good
leave your
boy.
money lying around idle and you don't put it to any meaningful work. My friends, this must stop today. Why should your money be relaxing when you're doing all the
Okay,
work?
so I'll take the first and last paragraph.
Your money
Because
can work harder than you.
So this is the
So
first
put your money to work with the Uninvest app and enjoy as much as 11 to 12% interest on your investment. Simply download the iInvest app at www.i-investengine.com. We'll be amazed at how much
We're not beefing him. You don't understand the shock. It's not just his.
Are we taking any stories or messages?
Let's just take one story because of the game today.
So many messages. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be on game.
It's today.
So what is the story? How many lines?
On Monday.
Yeah, let's
Just
do
read.
first line.
In fact, just read the first line.
Okay,
Let me
first
take it.
line.
Yes.
Because you don't understand.
Think.
Hey, I don't know how to explain this thing to you.
1.5 HVAC and TCL 23-inch TV at 12 p.m. Mondays to Fridays
Hi.
and more in the
It won't
Jumia
make
clearance
sense.
sale. T's and C's apply. Jumia, save money,
We're back in
shop
time.
easy.
I will think about it later.
Because they play my kind of music. Love music. Love life.
Studio, mics are up.
Smooth 98.
Welcome back to more sporting stories inside of the locker room here on Smooth 98.1.
Right now, we'll go straight to the match being match today. Otamendi unhappy over game time. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola admits Nicolas Otamendi is unhappy with his limited first team opportunities this season.
Yes, unfortunately, a lot of good quality players and not enough to risk for Pep Guardiola, especially after him winning the Premier League last season. So they will not get a lot of game time. But today will be an opportunity for him to, may be an opportunity for him to play in the Carabao Cup for Manchester City, who are already leading the first leg by 9-0.
Oh boy.
So in fact, they shouldn't even show up. They'll still go through 9-0.
Chimobi Victor sends us a message on Twitter here. He says, Mama Serena Williams' village people are really on her case. They have removed that fear factor from anyone that is facing her, while for Rafa Nadal himself and Auntie Tega, they're happy for him. Now, Charles Chiders says Barcelona is signing Boateng, who's almost 40. Does it mean that their self-acclaimed best youth academy is dead? What happened to youth development? And that's how Spurs' season came to an end. United heading for top 3. He ends there. Thank you very much, guys. Let's take one last message here on WhatsApp before we go. Big T here says, salary missing. It's really sad. Prayers go out to the family. Actually, he meant Salah. Tottenham versus Chelsea. Why bother? After that battle, there's still the war with Man City. On tax evasion in Spain, those guys are worse than the touts on Ochodi. Wow. Pay for land, pay for space, pay for air. Thank you very much, guys. It's been fun with you on sports stories inside of the locker room. Wait for us, actually, because at 9 o'clock, Lagos will be talking some more. You will get to talk to us on the number 014489981. That is the number to call. That is 014489981. In time for Lagos Talks 981. And you know the topic. It's on the minimum wage. Good morning.
I said it. He was going